Welcome back to Showmance, the #1 show on YouTube doing deep dives on shows with no depth. We are here to do the Valley today. It's Miss Triggered versus Polly Pocket, the redo. This might have been an episode that maybe half of it was shot with Courtney, and then maybe the hard drive didn't get plugged into the switcher. We don't live in the past, though. We're moving on from that. We don't need to talk about.
We can talk about one thing. Travis made a good point when I tried to explain it to him. I was like, we sat down to film the show, and he goes, and just talked about it.
Y'all just had a conversation.
We just had a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We didn't film it. We just sat and had a conversation for about an hour and 45 minutes.
And then read the comments to each other.
The comments were great. We're not redoing them.
Well, today I'm going to do something that Mike has been dreaming of since the day that he met me, and that is just ask questions and listen. Mostly listen. So savor it, darling.
You guys can introduce me for those that don't watch Soho?
He's your friend.
I mean, listen, yeah, this is Travis. There's
Wow.
probably
That
nobody.
was really f***ed up, Natalie.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
I
like it.
thought we have some friendship going now.
Listen, there's nobody probably on this channel that watches Southern Hospitality that doesn't watch everything else.
Okay,
The
that's
people
good.
that watch Southern Hospitality are our sweetest subscribers because they're just doing it for the team. Those are team players. About 12 to 1,500 team players every week. They know who you are.
Cool.
These people are the real deal. Anyways, we're going to try it again. Listen, a little context. If you remember Natalie pounding 2 beers and talking about where her belly button was in the
Okay.
comments section last week, right after that, she forgot to plug in the hard drive. We forgot to plug in the hard drive. It's a team here. It's a team effort.
Listen,
One goes down, we all go down.
well, that is true. But listen, the people that deserve to know that already know, because this was after we did comments first for a show that we didn't have Courtney with us, so we waited for her. I think it was Summer House comments.
Right.
So if you watch the entire 2-parter and then even still after that got through comments, then you got to hear me say at the very end over our logos that happened. And if you didn't stay for that, if you're not here for the worst of me, you don't get the best of me.
Oh, goodness gracious.
One thing I just want to start with, Travis, you binged all of these shows in the very recent. So you've just watched 3 seasons or 2.5, because we're on 3.5. Two
Yeah,
seasons
not
plus
bad.
the half of a third. You've watched them all back to back to back. This is also right after you watched all of Vanderpump, aside from the new seasons of Vanderpump, but that doesn't matter. Is there anything that you want to share? Any favorites? Any super punchables?
How much do you love Jax?
Where were you on 9/11 when Jax got fired?
Middle school, 8th grade. Put it on TV.
Whoa.
They allowed all the parents to come pick up their kids. I lived in San Antonio, which is a lot of the military nursing training bases.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, cool, so they're attacking us. They're going to track medical, right?
Yeah.
And all the kids' parents came pick them up. Except for it's just me and 6 other kids there going, cool.
I mean, listen, in your mom's defense.
She was alive at this point.
Oh, my
What a
bad.
dick.
Anyways, thoughts on Jax?
You guys are going to hate me, but I
He
feel like
loves him. He
no,
loves him.
I don't like Jack Taylor, but I felt like these moments,
Yeah.
he would have pulled Danny aside and said, hey, stop it. Stop yelling at your wife. But then he would have yelled at Brittany.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? He's still that kind of person, but Jax has no problem stepping in the middle of something going, hey, this is my
that's
show.
not right.
My
Yeah,
show.
this
Cool
is
the out, man.
I think it's for TV
Danny?
show context.
Yeah.
He'll do it for the show, but it's not for love or.
Oh, and he's gonna go yell at Brittany right after. So
Yeah,
he
no,
did-
100%.
but
Might
he's
even
still that
check a
guy who's
table
gonna
letter.
jump in.
Yeah.
Thank God we got Lala.
So that's another thing. As well, everyone knows that Lala is very. She's almost as divisive as Craig. I would say there are a lot of people who lead with, "Oh my God, Lala," and then they go in with the rest of their thought. That's kind of what people do with Craig. There's also a lot of Lala lovers. I am one. Courtney's one. I think you are one.
A Lala lover?
Yeah.
I am a 90% at this point Lala lover. The only time I don't like Lala and back on VPR was this happened a lot. So I've grown to like her more. A shitty life experience happening to you will change you, obviously. That being said, when she gets in her gangster mode, when she just gets all like
I
she's
will fuck you. Yeah.
Dude, I'm like,
Yeah, you want to get
"Bro,
popped?
Stop it.
Or you want to get popped?
Stop it. Where is
Yeah.
she from? Like, I
Utah.
don't.
The sick sad streets of Utah.
Yeah, listen, Linda, I don't. That's the only time I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And then when I feel like I'm not buying it, that's when I'm tapping out. If
Are
I
we
feel
buying
like
her
you're
these
trying to
days?
fake it. I am. I like her, and I will get to the Danny thing. I mean, I liked her going off on him and
Yeah.
stepping in and saying like, "Listen, dude, don't. What are you doing?" It wasn't recorded, but justice for Janet. I'll say it again on camera. I'm borderline justice for Janet. I don't know if I'll ever be a fan, but I am wondering, like, dang, was she right? Was she right? Just asking questions. Defense disclaimer. Just asking questions.
You can be right, and the way Janet went about it, and then how many times did she sexual assault that one episode? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could be right,
Maybe
and
took it
then-
a little far.
and then went,
Yeah.
yeah. Two things can be true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny owes Janet
Yes.
and Lala a debt of gratitude. A thank you to Janet for being so above and beyond unbearably obnoxious
Yeah.
that, like, if whatever he didn't do, whatever, if that did happen or to the extremes that it did, the messenger on that really distracted from what happened. Like, none of us, it's not like we didn't care about
Talking
what
about the
happened,
ass
but it
grab?
became really,
Yeah.
what?
The ass grab.
Like the ass grab,
Janet's
but like,
version of the tattletaling of it.
Oh.
Like if it was a different messenger, it might have landed, is what I'm assuming that
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah.
and Lala and Janet can both have the same idea about something, but I just don't believe that any of it is authentically what Janet feels that she needs to deliver to you. I feel like she's delivering it for her show factor, for her camera time factor. Whereas
the
when
people.
Lala does, I believe that Lala woke up this morning in a fire of fury and was like, I need to go knock on this mother door and tell him this right now.
This is just popping into my head, and it might be totally stupid. And you'll let me know. But like, in a weird way, it's Janet does it for the people, right? Which
Yeah.
is like it's fake, right? And Lala has been personally offended by
Yeah.
a thing,
Yeah.
and that's the person you want making a
Exactly.
change. You know what I mean? Not the
Exactly.
person that's like just doing it for the gram. You
Ooh,
know?
I thought about this thing this morning when I was feeding the baby
Yeah,
that like
totally.
I could say this and then you could say that and then I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
come in for the pow,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like, and then Danny would owe Lala a thank you because even though this was an unbearably embarrassing day for Danny, I think it's good to know right off the bat this bitch ain't playing games here,
Yeah.
and you are not going to get away with anything like you've been able to. If you have in fact been getting away with things, that day ends today. That all ends today.
I mean, we'll
So-
see. I will talk about that later, but
Okay, just wrapping up the Vanderpump stuff. Are you a Kristen fan?
No.
No.
Never. Psycho.
Liking or not liking Kristen, I think, pertains to the way that people are watching these shows. If you watched all of Vanderpump, you hated her the entire time. And then she was like, I don't remember what season she left Vanderpump. And I know she would pop in now and again and do some cameos. But like really, for the most part, she got fired like season 6 or 7.
No, she got fired. I feel like she got fired so much earlier than
Oh,
that.
maybe
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, it's hard to like remember because like we watched that season by season. That was over 10 years of TV watching. So when you watch it all at once, what you're missing is the time without her, and then also hearing. Probably just like if you're listening to any pods about it or you're hearing Kristen on pods and she starts telling you and reminding you all the accusations that she made. And unless I'm missing something, she was right about every single one of them.
Once again, you can be right about something.
Totally.
And the way you go about something
Totally.
is completely wrong.
So Janet, that's something for you to look forward to. Maybe on your next show, if we have a big break from you, we'll be like, she's not so bad.
Like, listen, I hated Stassi a lot more in the beginning
Yeah.
than I hated Kristen.
Yeah.
I love Stassi by the end of it.
Totally.
I think Bo helped.
Oh, Bo definitely helped. Kristen never really got her act together during Vanderpump. Like she never came back. We never got to see Kristen living a life of adulthood, really. Like
No. She dated Sando. Then she dated DJ.
DJ Baby's daddy.
Oh Yeah, I mean, they used to spar.
Then she just dated Revenge and Anger for a while.
Yeah.
The rest of her time on there.
They're still co-parenting.
So we reconvene at the Danny Lala, like just the bitch sesh, to see what Bravo does best, which is kerfuffles and costumes. The shitty part about this is that Lala was not in costume.
Dude, time out. You might have to cut that part out.
What?
I think we're making a coffee table book called Kerfuffles and Costumes, and it's all the like moments Bravo had a kerfuffle in the that's brilliant.
But there's only a handful, and actually
There's a
only one that
gazillion.
I can only one that I can recall off the top of my head that where one person was in costume and one person wasn't. And that was when Paige was having a screaming match with Kyle when they were all dressed in their lobster bibs. But Paige had brilliantly taken hers off before she really went in for the kill. And Kyle was just sitting there in full. I think he might have even had his mullet at the time. Like, I can't remember, but it was embarrassing. That to me for Danny is like kind of times 10 because he's getting called out for like little man misogyny, like while he's wearing sequins and a Party City wig and like has 6 pounds of contour and mismatched foundation. Nia did her best, but didn't match his skin right. I love that he knew that because he's an actor. So he's in the chair a lot and he's like, this doesn't look like what they usually do to me on set.
Right. Danny also seems like the type of guy that while in the makeup chair, he's asking like, so what is that? What in that color? Is that
Exactly.
And like he took a couple of years to talk to makeup artists and get the info so that now when he sits in the chair, he's like, well, what do you got there? Cosmo H14? Yeah,
Exactly. Let me get a
H14 is
photo of
my,
that.
that's my best one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the 16? 16's a little light for me normally, but whatever. Well, we can darken it with a little whatever, like.
But I've been doing a lot of VO lately, so I haven't been out in the sun. So this actually might work today, but next time.
Yeah, next time I'm a 14.
Yeah.
It's like my Clippers. I'm a 6.
What do you think about Lala's involvement in this? Like, I think we kind of hit on what we think about Lala,
Good.
but
Someone should have said something.
yeah. Was this a genuine reaction or was this her just trying to get some action on camera? She is a professional.
I gotta imagine it's genuine.
It seemed genuine. I think because listen, we all felt it. We all wanted to say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the only people that didn't were the same people later on that were like, "You're new here, Lala. Why do I keep wanting to call her Lar? Is that a Britney thing?"
That's because Brittany says that.
I kept popping into my head, and I'm like, I'm totally going with that. So I feel like the only people that didn't say anything, for the most part, nobody did except
No one did.
Nia and Lala.
And so they talk about like Michelle and them. They're like, yeah, we don't want the wrath.
Yeah, but all of them. Yeah, Brittany, everyone was like, I'm not with that. There's no way. Which just it leads me straight into what we had talked about last time, which is just who's protecting Danny and Nia, right? Is it Bravo or is it Danny and Nia? And I like Courtney and I were kind of on the Danny and Nia are protecting themselves, and maybe
Not after this. No way.
No, they have been.
Okay.
And Natalie was like, oh, no, it's been Bravo. Like, Bravo's been protecting them, right? Don't need to get into that again. Boot.
He didn't like any of what I said. He thought I was too drunk to say it.
You were the one yelling at us. Pretty sure you threw a beer at me.
Oh, my God. I would never waste a beer on you, okay?
That's true. That is true. Anyways, I think that it was 100% called for. And like I said, the only people who didn't say anything were the people that later on were like, no, you're new here. And this has been going on forever. Everybody's heard something, whether it's the essay thing or a version of that or another story of that or just Darko Danny or, when he gets wasted, this is it. So I'm fine with it. And it made me think, like, early on, we were like, why is Lala here? Why is she with Janet? Like, is that the only way? Like, was that her in? Like, you can come back, but you got to hang out with the freaking castaway. I don't need to point at you. But, or what is it? And some people were like, oh, she was brought on to help Janet take down Danny and Nia. And in the beginning, I think we can agree. We were all like, Danny and Nia are perfect, though. Who's taking them down? Like, couple slip-ups. Now I'm totally in on Lala was here to bring these two down.
I feel like Lala and Tom were there to bring in more viewers. Now that Jax is gone, they're like, shit, Brittany's not enough. And they don't love these people cast yet enough.
Yeah.
Sure. But Lala needs something to do to bring those viewers. Like Lala alone doing
Lala doesn't
nothing.
need something to do. Lala likes justice.
100%. But Lala doing nothing doesn't bring in the viewers. It doesn't keep the viewers.
Yeah.
Lala coming in with a mission, an end game, a storyline. What do you know? We're telling stories. That gets the people back and keeps them. Because it's a Lar takedown.
I also, going back to like, should she have stepped in? It's not like it was a one comment and she was like, no. She kind of creeped up on him. She heard multiple times over, and she heard Nia going, okay, calm down. Like, trying to diffuse.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just one thing and like, let's make a big deal about it. It's just build up.
Yeah.
You're right about the Nia thing too. I didn't think about that. Is like hearing her start to say something about it and him continue. That's when Lala was like, that's when she stepped in. Whereas like, if he's just drunk and being a dummy because they're having a costume party or whatever, and Nia's just like rolling her eyes but not really bothered by it, then maybe nothing happens.
Because there was that moment where, Lala says what she has to say, and this was last episode, but Nia says in her confessional, A, what are you doing here? This is not your business. But B, true.
But see, in the moment, Nia, you said none of that. You were encouraging Lala and telling Danny, like, well, she has a right. She can say it, and that's, like, she seemed to not on her side. Yeah. Which is another thing we talked about in the mysterious episode that was missing, is like, what are they fighting about? You know what I mean? And this goes to the protection thing. Is like, I think I kind of went under the, like, Danny and Nia have made a pact for whatever reason to live this sort of public life in the public eye that is, God first and family first and a certain type of structure, right? Very traditional family structure. Totally fine. That being said, those type of situations, if something does happen, if somebody does get a little drunk one time at the barbecue and it comes outside of the home, it's a bigger problem than if we don't really fight in front of people, but like we never fight anyways. Then like keeping your word, right? Yeah. So again, were they fighting because Danny was drunk and just being a dick, or were they fighting because the argument left the bubble? Yeah. The annoyance left the bubble. The on camera, hey, you're doing this and I don't like that.
You talking about the whole Danny making it? Is that what you're talking about? Like
Danny and Nia's
fight after all this.
The whole thing. Why? What? So this whole thing started last episode and went into this one. Yeah. But why Danny was being a prick? Why she was being weird?
I think he was drunk, and the whole time she was trying to protect the bubble, but he got drunker and drunker. And started acting a fool, and she was doing her best to diffuse. Right. Then Lala stepped in, but like I don't feel like there was anything other than Danny got really drunk and started acting like an idiot, which he's done before. Yeah, he's done but he wilded out here, and on camera.
But there was a moment in season 1 where he said something at the dinner table. We couldn't remember. It was either "f you" or "shut up" or something like that
to her.
Yeah. And she was like, "You just said." Shut up on camera. You just told me on camera to shut up. Like it was a very specific frustration. It was a very specific, like, we've had this conversation. We agreed we are not going to do this show. So I set aside the show, live this life together, build a life together that includes public fights and public talking to each other like that. Like that's not going to happen. And it happened. And that she was like, what?
I don't know if
every one of their fights are that. The bus when she's on the phone with him was
I don't know if it's the whole marriage as much as in this public domain where it's being broadcast.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know if it's like their whole marriage, like they had that pact, but like as soon as they're going on TV and going, cool, a lot of people are going to see this.
No, I guarantee it was before because she's a Miss USA and he's an actor. Yeah. So their life has been in the public eye since before the TV show. Not obviously as famous, but so I think that it's just it's a very church traditional foundation way to raise a family or a life or a partnership. And
the argument wasn't don't tell me to shut up or don't don't say F you. It was don't say it on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their whole thing is
Yeah,
like,
it was exactly.
so
It wasn't
much.
don't say it. It was you just said that to me on
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
Not did you just tell me to fuck? If I told her to fuck off once, only once. But like, not that we're on camera, but like, if we got in a situation here where she pissed me off so much, and I was like, dude, fuck you. Later on, it wouldn't be you told me fuck you on camera. A, because she'd edit it out, but B, she'd be like, you.
It depends on how much I wanted to humiliate you after that.
Yeah.
It depends on when the editing occurred. If it was directly afterwards or after we had spoken.
If
Next
it
time you're at
made
work,
up,
she
yeah,
calls
then
Harris and
not.
Courtney over and they watch that footage and then have a
We
deep dive on what happened.
Dude, I've always
Podcast and a podcast.
I've always wanted to do our podcast and then set up like a interview area, like a fancy green screen or whatever, and then do like not OTFs, but like all of us do sit down interviews about the episode of the podcast. It'll be like when Courtney said that thing about Danielle, dude, I knew she was going to say, but whatever. I think it'd be hilarious. Someday when we have a lot of space and money.
Danny to me seems like a guy, and it maybe just reminds me of someone that I grew up with who I absolutely love, but was like would get wasted and would act a fool and just start mouthing off, but like in a way that he thought was like very funny. On Watch What Happens, I feel like it was Tom Schwartz and maybe he was on there with Luke. I feel like one of them talked about how like Danny is a walking bit. Like he does these bits and you never know if he's like veering in and out of bits. The level of obnoxious that he was during this whole costume thing was like, it was like, this is so annoying, but you almost are, you think you're on camera, but like on SNL right now. Like it was just on and on and on. Like you do not care that much about your match foundation, about what you're doing with your hair, how your dress isn't fitted. And it must be really annoying to live with that if that goes on a lot. But I am questioning, like, how often does Danny get this drunk? Like, it seems like maybe he's not really allowed to 98% of the time. And so then when he does, it's like, he just gets, it's like Danny Unleashed, you know? That's my biggest question is, does Nia deal with this on a day-to-day basis while he's drunk and he's a walking bit? Because that would send me to the loony bin.
Yeah. But I also feel like it kind of, I mean, this is bringing up stuff later on the show, but I think Lala said it. Like, listen, I know I'm a bad drunk. I know when I drink, I do these things.
Yeah.
If Danny can't just go have 3 or 4,
yeah,
and not just keep going and going and going, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 or 4 over the night with his friends. If you can't just do that, then maybe you don't, like if you have to take it there every time, and this happens every time, maybe you don't get to do that. Maybe just no drinking then. Yeah. If you can't just keep it to 3 or 4.
You should try crack.
Yeah. Or
Ketamine.
just like
hang out with Grace.
Or just get over it and be like, okay, Danny's wasted again. There's drunk Danny. And like, don't make the whole episode about you. Just like let him go off and get wasted. And now he's just sort of a sideshow. But if you want to be an anchor couple on this show, like, and you're going to do this on camera, then like this is.
We saw that though, didn't he? And then he fell asleep before dinner and he passed out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
You could let him do that and then just put an X on Nia's ass and be like, only grab the X. Only grab X's, right? And then be like, then he'll be fine. But also, could Danny be the only alcoholic? We're not saying he's an alcoholic, but just being funny. Could Danny be the only alcoholic where your advice to him is like, you need to drink 4 to 5 times a week, not once a month, because then it's still 2 or 3 couple beers and we're fine. We're gonna have a good time. It's not like, it's been 5 weeks. I got to get it all in because it's not gonna be another 6 weeks before I can party again. He's just like going to town.
If I go to Palm Springs or anywhere tropical where the sun is, I need to build up. This would be like me going to a bachelorette in Palm Springs and getting in the sun and just sitting there all day like that. But I have to train for that. Yeah, Danny might need to train for these outings.
Yeah, he goes to the gym and keeps those muscles fit.
Yeah,
he needs to get up the bar at 3-4 times a week. Start getting a routine, a little drinking plan together.
Yeah,
start small.
Yeah, but
Work
if he
your way
gets
up.
this more annoying at home, I'm sure Nia's like, I'm not for this plan. No, thank you on this
Listen,
plan.
We got to try things. We just got to try certain
true.
things out until we find the thing that works.
There was a point when Danny reconfronted Lala after all this.
Yeah.
You know, and Lala's like, I didn't like the way you're talking to her, so I stepped in. And Danny said, you don't have the right to do that.
I love that Lala said, I must because I just did. Lala, ladies and gentlemen,
Like,
Lala.
well, and Nia was like, yes, she does.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't know. I believe if you do, like, listen, you do shit in public
Yeah.
in front of my face.
Yeah.
I'm in it, right? Like, I can
it's
hear
on.
you. It's,
No, that's true. You signed on to a show that now has Lala as a full-time co-cast.
But not
like
even-
you gotta know, you didn't expect this. You didn't see this coming.
Yeah, not even that. I think like if we were just all sitting here
Yeah.
and you and I got in a fight, Travis is like, and Travis he'd be like, "Yo, you guys need to shut the f up." Like,
Yeah.
he has permission.
I'd be like,
to,
Nelly,
Yeah.
you can't hit him.
Thank you. Finally, somebody's saying this. Somebody's speaking out for me.
Just don't hit him again.
It's why I wear these hats. Like if that's the life you're gonna live too, like where you're gonna be quiet, then be quiet. And if you're not, then it's on.
Let's party.
I also want to know if,
Fuck,
like,
it's on.
Yeah.
Lar's here.
just like you were talking about, I guess, the drinking, like, because he doesn't drink that often. So when he does, it just,
Yeah.
is that their fights at home? Or
That's
do
what
they
I,
just pretend like everything's great till they bam,
Dude,
huge
that's a
blow
question.
up and then just
Yeah.
bury it. Like, I just,
maybe. And Lala talks about how, we just said Lala's from Utah. And so she grew up around all Mormons. I don't know if her family was Mormon. I feel like maybe they might have been at some point. I don't know for sure though. But that's another reason I think a couple like this really triggers triggers her, because it's like if you grew up around kind of like misogynistic men and wives that just sort of like
Yeah, maybe.
all the time, like she probably spots that, and like it's probably good and bad. She spots it soon, but she also sees it and pounces because it's like she thinks she knows exactly what's going on here. When she like at some point she calls Nia this poor sweet woman. Like Nia's many things. Like I would like I know that if I'm Nia, I don't want to be referred to as this poor sweet woman who's just getting badgered and abused.
Dude, here's the thing that everyone keeps forgetting, and I will never forget, that Nia is a 3rd degree black belt in either Taekwondo or some sort of like. She's not a softie, bro. She'll kick all your asses.
Why in my notes multiple times I just had to write, and I know she's in on it, but I just had to write, Nia's a saint. She's a saint when she's with some of this shit. Like, she's also doing it for reasons like it's calculated, but like so many times in this episode, I was like, I would have lost it. I would have lost it. Multiple, like, what?
She is Bravo's gold standard wife. Like she deserves to have anything and everything in the world from all the children that she's bore, from all of the shit that she takes and handles so brilliantly. And she's so banging. Like this is a bitch that's going to look like this forever.
But like Brooke Shields, Cindy Crawford.
Yeah. There's a small handful of these women out there and she's going to be one of them. Yeah. Okay, so let's just get into like the competition in general. Like obviously these shows do themes, and I was not a fan of this one. Were you? Did you like seeing these dudes dress up? Did it feel awkward, or were you into it? Or
No, it looked fun, except for like Schwartz. Come on, man. I don't get the glasses. Where'd the glasses come from?
who was his dresser? It was Michelle.
It was Michelle.
Did they say that they had a point in this? Like, were they going for a certain look and I just missed it?
I don't recall anybody who had a certain point or
Yeah.
like a thing, a specific thing. Like I know they all had a name or whatever, but I don't know how it tied into their outfits. Yeah, I like this is the second time now, and it became a thing. Kristen was like, "Oh, he's the most." He like in the last episode when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a drag," she was like, "Don't do Tom,
Yeah.
please God, don't do Tom." And they flashed back to it.
I
and
feel like
I
people were
was
doing
like,
him wrong though. Like the wigs are
No,
terrible.
no,
They put this
no.
bright makeup. Like it just, I don't.
No,
Tom
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think there's something about Tom again. That's my hall pass. There's something about that dude in there.
Did you catch that? That's Mike's hall pass. Tom, not Nia, not Lala, Tom Schwartz.
I go-
Circa 1998-ish, I think.
Maybe a little bit later
early
than that.
2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s, New York modeling days. Ooh, yeah, tell me he's not yours too. Kristen was 100% right again. This dude is not meant to be a lady.
Yeah.
I'm
at
surprised she called him the most attractive man up there.
I was wondering if anyone else
But
took,
who is?
took,
Who
a,
is?
took
Maybe
note
her
of that.
husband, the father of a
right.
child.
That's the thing.
He was the only model up there, so Kristen could get away with it. Like Luke was like, dude, what the f-? She could be like,
She's like, did you
listen,
model? Did you
honey,
get paid to?
Did you get paid money for how handsome
Yeah.
you were? Great, thanks, bye.
I know that's why I told Courtney. Courtney says that we both have a good side. And so that she also wanted to sit in this chair. And I was like, absolutely not. If you've ever been paid a penny to show your face somewhere.
Yeah, because you're pretty.
Yeah, sorry, opt out. Like
Yeah,
you
you
no
get
longer.
second chair.
Yeah, sorry. Imagine if everyone thinks Courtney's so beautiful now. Imagine if she was sitting on what she says is her good side. Like,
oh my God, she was
we
so
get
much more
nowhere.
beautiful.
Yeah, people would in the comments would just be like, "Wow, I was trying to listen to what you guys were saying, but all that light and energy was just flowing through my brain watching Courtney."
Our average retention would go through the roof.
But nobody would know what they were here for. They would just be like, the girl that does the skincare and
Have you
hair
seen-
ads.
like in
there's
6
no
months,
skincare
they'd
and
be
hair
like,
ads here. No. It
Have
had
you
to be.
seen Courtney's show?
Yeah.
Like who's Courtney?
She'd be like, yes.
Yeah. Womp womp.
They kept just going back and forth with showing more Danny, and like, I think you kind of hit on this. I've known people like him, and I started getting triggered. I'm like, this guy.
Yeah.
Just the way he was drunkenly acting at the pad was like, come on, dude.
Yes.
That's where I felt like a Jax Taylor would have been like, hey man,
Yeah, yeah.
you're ruining this.
Trying to have fun here.
You got two of the 5 camera guys here are on you.
Yeah.
I don't know who you think you are. This is Jax's show.
Yeah.
Trying to fight with Brittany over here. I need these 3 crews. We don't have an audio guy.
I'm trying to tell her what a drunken, sloppy mother she is
right.
who fails our children every day and barfs in the driveway.
Totally. I think as far as like the bit thing, because I remember watching that Watch What Happens Live too, and it's like, okay, cool. He's an actor. Actors are a little weird like that.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, and it's part of their charm. Like
What
they're
bit?
just.
They set their intentions, like they.
It's like practice. It's like showing off. It's like
Let's not call that a bit.
it's not a comedy bit.
That's what I'm saying. But like a bit to me is a comedy thing, and it's just like he even says I was joking. It wasn't funny.
So this is my
That's what
point.
yeah.
My point is like I think I can totally see Danny being that guy, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. But when they said that about this, I was like, okay. And I sat for him. I'm like, what's the bit? Like, what's that bit here? The bit here is a funny lady, a hot lady, a slutty lady,
No.
some version of a lady.
He's like, I'm
'cause
gonna be
you're
Andy
dressed
Kaufman
in
today.
drag.
Like the anger.
Yeah, not a overbearing like man from the 1940s.
The bit was pageant queen. The bit was, I'm here. This is a competition. I came here to win. I haven't eaten cheeseburgers with a bun on it in the last 6 months training for this. You brought the wrong foundation. What are you doing with my hair? This dress isn't even form fitting. Like the bit was, I am
He was drunk. He was drunk, and he was drunk, and that's his
Yes.
personality.
Yeah,
he
fine.
was drunk,
There's
and
no way
that's
that's a
why
bit.
it wasn't funny because he chose the wrong thing to lean into, and he's not a comedic actor. I think that people that don't do comedy think that I think that Disney people writ large have a hard time pulling off actually like funny dry bits, especially in their older years when they're dads, because dad jokes are already horrible as they are. So imagine.
Let's not get violent.
Like I completely shut down, disagree. There's no bit. He's a dick.
Tell him that.
He holds. If anything, his whole life is acting not to be the dick in public, and then he gets drunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
His
he doesn't
whole
want you to know
bit
about
is
that.
trying to be a normal person.
Yeah, that's true.
And he just
That's
it's every
true.
time he leaves the house, he's doing a bit trying not to be a dude.
Yeah.
A dick and a douche.
Yeah. Yeah.
Double D.
They announced the winners, which I thought was confusing from aside from the moonlight moment they had,
Full moonlight moment. Also, is Miss Congeniality like an honorable mention or something? What is that?
Yeah, they said Miss Congeniality for first prize. We've got Tom Schwartz, who was Tom's name?
Wait,
Tom
they didn't say
misjudged.
Not first prize.
They say the words first prize because I was like, why was I so confused by this? So I went back and watched it again, and that's why I thought he won at first, because they said first prize goes to Tom Schwartz.
If Tom would have won,
The whole thing was rigged. Zach should have won.
Well,
I'm ready to text Zach and ask
genuinely-
him out on her out on a date. Zacharina? What would you call
he
it?
genuinely did win for a second. Like he got that feeling.
No, he
Yeah.
did have that feeling.
He had a shitty feeling moments afterwards.
Yeah, it was full
But he got the
moonlight.
feeling of winning.
La
What
La
else is there?
Land.
let me ask you also while we're on this.
Oh, hold on. Time out.
Oh, okay.
This reminds me of a little show we used to do on this channel called The Adirondack Show. And we had a little conversation about AI and whether a bear was real or not. If he had the feeling of winning, even though he didn't win, is it still the feeling of winning?
If you're looking at a bear that doesn't exist, does it still exist?
It exists.
Is that what you're asking me?
His win didn't exist.
Cut it out.
His win was fake. Go back. You guys go way back in the time
Scroll
machine
to
on
the
this
very
channel
beginning of this
to the
page.
Adirondack Show, and you'll see the two of us having multiple high-level debates.
I win most of the.
That was one of
Listen,
them.
if you want to get back with Fishing Gal, you have the same stance on this. Fishing Gal also was not impressed at all when Mike told someone to, Luke, if you need some time, fishing, isn't around for 3 hours. You could just do it in your living room with your thing on. And Fishing Gal was like, spit out her coffee probably and was like, I'm sorry, Mike, did you just tell me to buy an Oculus to go fishing? Fishing Gal?
And then what'd you say at the end? Fishing Gal?
Listen.
Can you tell me where to buy one of these? Asking for a friend.
However.
So I hope your friend, wink, wink, is having a good time. Anyways.
Okay, back to my question though. Just wanted to ask you where you're at with Tom Schwartz. Are you happy to have him? Are you party of Schwartz? And before you answer, please know that
you have to say yes.
Two of the three people in this room are who elected him back and got him back into office. So, are you happy that Tom Schwartz has resumed his television life on the Valley? Or do you think he's of value?
I love Tom Schwartz.
Oh, good. Okay, we don't need to even go into it any further then. So, would you
done.
say
Moving
that
on.
you're hashtag party of Schwartz?
I don't know what that means.
Yes, that's a yes.
It's like you're gonna just
If you would know if you're not.
That's the
and
thing.
if you know that, then fine, you're not. It's okay. We don't judge.
But even more so, you would know if
I don't even know how
are.
you could hate Schwartz.
Thank you.
You're a party of Schwartz.
Okay.
That's a
I
party of
understand
Schwartz. We're gonna sign you up.
Yeah, I've got the list
If
here.
you don't like it, you're free to unsubscribe.
But it's not an unsubscribe like you email me. Like you have to come into the
You
gym
guys
in
are
person and tell me why you don't want to be a part of this gym anymore.
Yeah, and since now you've never
you
been
guys
to
are
a gym in
describing
her
a cult
life.
to me.
It's a gathering of like-minded people who are here for Tom Schwartz forever and ever. Amen. Okay, so the other thing you've touched on that I thought was really funny was that Kristen, she takes two instances to say, A, Tom Schwartz is the best looking guy here, essentially. And the other one was that in true Kristen past fashion, she points at, I think, Zach and says, Zach looks like a girl that Tom Schwartz took home back in the early odds. Some whore that Tom Schwartz took home.
Allegedly.
Because, Kristen has always been the one saying, like, this guy cheated, this guy had Miami girl, Tom Schwartz blacked out with this girl in San Diego, or like whatever it is. So I thought it was funny that she, once again, Katie Maloney, he definitely cheated, and this looks like the girl. Do you think that Katie Maloney and Kristen are friends? Because I don't know if I've ever heard Katie talk on that. I know her and Lala are not. But Kristen and Katie?
Don't know. Haven't really seen much of them. Like, again, I don't follow a ton of these people like in the real world. But I don't recall. Like, I don't think she's been on her podcast. And correct me if I'm wrong. I have no idea. I'm totally talking out of my ass.
Yeah,
but I don't recall them being together lately. Doesn't feel familiar to me.
Yeah. They might be like, oh, I liked your photo on Instagram. And that might be the end of it. I don't know. After that, we get in where I like to call them the B team. The B team gathers, and that's Lala excluded because Lala is in this, but I think Lala is strictly A team always. But she is hanging out with.
She's coach. She's coaching the B team.
She's coaching the B. Yeah. That's so true, actually. She's like, let me show you idiots how to do this.
Yeah. You guys want to move up?
You want to get popped or you want to get popped?
Yeah.
It's Janet, Michelle, Brittany, and Lala, and they're just like rehashing the clash between Lala. And she basically validates Janet's take. This is something that I think that Janet has been looking forward to ever since she heard that her best friend Lala was coming onto the show, and she's like, there's at a certain point Lala's going to have a moment where she literally says in black and white, you were right, Janet. And I think here she says, you were onto something. Was anyone cringing like me watching that validation, or were you like, nope, I'm here for it?
Yeah, justice for Janet. I already said that.
There's a lot of hate for Janet, right?
Oh, so much.
I don't like the way she went about things, but I wouldn't call it full-on hatred.
Hold on. You've watched all of the Valleys. You didn't skip a season or an episode?
Because I kind of always thought that, like, Danny sucked since the beginning.
Okay, so that is a question I had to ask you. Where have you always been with Danny
I
and
always
Mia as
hated
a
Danny.
couple?
Since that, you brought it up earlier, where the whole shut up thing, the whole where he had that blow up at that table.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since then, I was like, oh, that's who that guy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw it.
Yeah.
The mask fell off. Okay.
So I think for me, I thought bad day.
Mm.
I'm gonna give you some grace on that, but bad
Wait.
day, little drunk. I don't think we had seen him like that before. Since then, we've seen that moment 3 or 4 times in 3 seasons.
It was that mixed with the don't tell me that on camera, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
cool,
no, I'm with you
so
now.
I
Like,
understand why
can't
Janet did
stand
everything.
this, dude.
Did not go about it the right way.
Yeah. I think that my favorite part of this, and like this is going to be the bummer because I am very pro Nia, and I understand that like we see that she's in a spot here. She's going to have to shift some things to keep her fan base, you know, because I think that so many people have been like, love this woman, like no notes. Like even if it's like, that's not me, I don't relate to that. She's so sweet and giving, and she's such a good friend, and her friend, like Kristen, loves her, and Kristen is a person that kind of chaperoned us into meeting this new group of people. So I have always said, like, when I knew Lala was coming, I'm like, this is going to be a thing because Lala's going to go after Danny, and I am going to feel some type of way about this because everything Lala says to me, 99.9%, she's saying exactly what I would say if I had the balls to say it. But then Nia, I'm always going to want to protect Nia and want what's best for her because I think that Nia finds herself in a particular situation where it's not that just that you're married, or not just that you're married with a kid, you are married with 4 toddler children. So like there's not a lot of good that can come out of putting a wedge between them, telling her to get out and not be with this dude anymore. Like this is a family unit that has got more on its back than like anybody else on this cast has. But when Lala calls Danny, when she calls him a Polly Pocket with little man syndrome and something else that I'm just like, oh, Danny, like again, just thank her that you've gotten to find out day one, pretty much like that. This is not, you got to mind your P's and Q's in front of this woman. Like you're going to go down with the ship. Like any good faith that you've garnered will be completely gone because this woman's going to eviscerate you while you're in a wig and sequins. So anyhow, so Michelle says something like, we all heard something, but then we had to pretend that it doesn't exist. Like, who's we?
Everyone. I mean, I think everybody.
Like everyone.
Everyone. Yeah.
I mean, even her ex-husband. You know, he's tried to say shit and they got, yeah.
No one else gets this kind of treatment though. So that's why I have like, and I think we touched on it earlier, and I know it's probably going to be an unanswered question and it'll come up throughout this whole episode, but I still like, you've definitely landed on it's just Danny and Nia saying that no one's allowed, because why would everybody fall in line if it was just Danny and Nia protecting themselves and being the protectors? Like, why is no one else allowed to say anything? Why would they listen to that? Even if they all believe we're not allowed to say it, if that's just coming from Danny and Nia, you're not allowed to say this. Why do they care? Why would they respect that?
Because you just told me 50% of the people hate Janet.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
It's way more than that.
However, we didn't know that. This cast last season wouldn't know that yet. They all really started hating. Like Janet got a little bit annoying in season 1 because like if she's got the baby moon and these people aren't invited and you know whatever. And who was it that wasn't invited? That it was Kristen.
Yeah.
Like Janet was perfectly fine that season.
This happened so much to Kristen in the Bravo sphere.
I know.
So many times there's been a good party and Kristen just ain't invited.
Yeah. And Zach, it was Zach too. And then remember Zach like posted something saying that he would like made his location Big Bear just so that Janet would be like looking in the bushes and being like, is he going to pop out any second and deck me?
That's fine.
I've never got the sense that Bravo's protecting him. They've put in plenty of little clues over the time of like.
I mean, the whole series has been about the behavior of 2 men. Jax, who's gone, and Danny, who we're still trying to figure out. Is he? It's not a will they, won't they? It's a is he, isn't he? Like it's it. That's the whole 2.5 years.
No, I agree. But
this is another one of my notes. Is how many times are we going to hear this is a bad guy? He did a bad thing. He did another bad thing. He's a bad. Everybody's screaming at the bad guy that this is the bad guy, and none of us are buying it because he goes to church or something. You know what I mean? Like, and gives off this persona. It's the 5th dentist. We're all believing the 5th dentist when they're like 4 out of 5 dentists approve Crest, and we're like, well, I want to talk to that 5th one. Guy. He seems like my kind of guy.
It's 9 out of 10. They get way more than 5.
No, the dentist is 4 out of 5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But after this episode, the mask is off, right? Like y'all see it now, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Definitely.
Yes, you guys really don't think that this is Bravo and or just the show production that's protecting him?
I
Because
think
why would
they probably
who else?
Especially after this season, when they go back to watch this before the reunion, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, they put shit in."
You guys, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm not a good moderator, so maybe I'm not asking this question right. And I know you're going to be like, Natalie, no, we heard the question. Our answers remain the same.
I don't think I don't think we were there yet. First of all, longevity of the show. Second of all, we were dealing with Jax Taylor last season.
Right,
like, you know what I'm saying?
so,
it feels like such a big thing to storyline out.
Exactly. So let me just say, listen, I told you I was not here for opinions today, but I have to explain this. At the beginning, we had Jax, and Jax only got worse and worse. And
in the beginning there was Jax.
And an 8-ball of cocaine and a lot of hair gel, and some roid needles. So it seems to me all we talked about for the first few, there's only 3. The first couple seasons was like, Jax is horrible. This is so bad. This is so bad. He's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. This is too dark. People were not like, there was articles written in magazines and like the New Yorker, like magazines that don't really give a shit about Bravo shows and whatever. But like somebody thought this was important enough to say, this show is so dark. It is so unsettling. I have nightmares from it. Like this is not an enjoyment. Where's the line between entertainment and just like, this is demonic. So people were opting out of watching, or were they? I don't know. But they wanted to say that they were. But we said, you can't have any more darkness here. That's how the Party of Schwartz was born, was like, you got to bring in some comedic relief here because you got to cut this with a knife somehow, you know? So it seems like the show decided we can't have 2 misogynistic, drunken assholes talking shit to their wives all the time. Now, I personally think, and I'm sure a lot of people are like,
you're totally
they're
for
the
that.
same. But like, I don't believe that they're the exact same person. Like like these are very different people to me, but I understand that the character descriptions, like I got a lot of similarities. So you get one, you don't get the other, because we can't have 2. Who's in charge of deciding what they're going to show? The network and the show's production, the producers, the showrunner.
But like that's for like, I don't know. I got kind of like, yeah. What do you like when you're in a production team and you're with these camera crews? And we see it all the time. They'll cut in like a little lunch in between 2 people. That was a full-on scene that somebody shot for 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they shoot a lot.
Yeah.
They know who these people really are. They really do. However, one thing Bravo does great of is how many times in the history of Vanderpump or this show or Summer House have you loved a character? Next year, you're like, I hate him.
No, I talk about
give them 2 seasons. You love them again.
Yeah, well, we're living through Scamander right now, which basically Kyle Cook went for 9 years, 9 3/4 of the season, or 10 3/4, whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. Into all of a sudden now, like Kyle's like great, like by people like me who never could not stand Kyle. Like he was that guy that rubs me raw every time he gets a chance to. Like this is not my guy, and now like he's my guy now.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There's only so much time in an episode. What is an episode if that's a main storyline and then this is a main storyline? It doesn't really work. Like Jackson Brittany was the story.
Right. So who would make the decision of who the story was going to be?
Well, why would it not? This is Jack's show from the
Jack and Brittany. There's no decision is what Travis is saying. It's like saying like, oh, we got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a full-blown fist fight, and then there's some cats running through the garbage over here. What should we put in the A block?
Right.
Probably the Michael Jordan.
So I guess you could say they're protecting him,
like
but I wasn't.
No question about it.
It wasn't really protecting him. It's because that's the story, and this will be a story eventually. But right now, this is it.
There's just no time in 42 minutes to have both of them.
Okay. Understood. That still is a decision that someone makes. If you've got 2 people acting a fool all the time and you decide that this is the story over here, that is still a decision that was made by someone. So like the protecting thing, that my question is about the protecting, and I don't understand why everybody here said we weren't allowed to talk about this. If you're not allowed to talk about something, it's because someone is being protected. So who's doing the protect? It doesn't make sense if Danny and Nia are the only people that are protecting themselves. Why does anyone respect that?
So you're basing all that off of Michelle saying we're not allowed to talk about this?
By the time we get to the end of the episode, literally everyone on this cast says it in some fashion, we've seen this, we've heard this, we didn't say anything. I went out of my way. I'm being very careful right now. Like there was a lot of talk about careful, and I'm not trying to, and I don't want to go down like she did. And like, so like it's everyone's has some version of this.
So down like you think that Bravo then is taking out all these people?
Who told them you're not allowed to talk about this stuff?
I think Danny and Nia. I think Danny and Nia show it between seasons. I also think Danny and Nia between seasons probably went out to dinner with a couple of them.
Oh, we saw them the other night.
I just
dead serious.
And between friends, because they're friends, I love it if y'all kind of we backed off that story. You guys just as friends, like we're on a show together, like let's try not to make that a thing. Like
wow, they must hold a lot of weight.
And then someone goes and talks to Zach, and then Zach tells it to Brittany, and then the whole team knows that they requested this. So other people walking around, like I just don't put any weight on Bravo because like I think they decided to make Jax and Brittany the storyline, not to protect, mainly because what other option do you have? That's you could argue now that they should have done Danny and Nia, but like Jax that was a thing happening, imploding in real life at So it's
There's also, and I'm not saying this is the thing, but it's been a thing on planet Earth, and so it could be a weird thing here. When you're nobody who gets cast on a reality show or a reality TV show star, even though you're pretty famous, i.e. Jax, or Kristen, who's not been on TV for a while, and a Danny who's like, oh my God, I know that guy. I know that guy. I've seen that dude on my show. Dude, I used to watch the show that he was on. You remember he was on the thing? And he's like a guy that is like, if you don't know him or if seen, you're like, I fucking know that guy. He's that guy. You don't know his name. He's not that famous, but he's you know he's done something, right? And then Miss USA, like that's not nothing. Like that's a pretty huge deal. And then they're so regal and they're so charming, and they walk into a room and it's that like, oh my God, the energy shifts, like they're just those people. It could be a mix of that where they just are a little enamored of Janet, who's like arguably fanned out onto a TV show. Could be a little bit of that. There could be a little bit of like Miss USA comes with a couple phone calls. She's also a 3rd degree black belt. Like he's in Hollywood. Like again, I'm not saying they're like, oh, we'll end you.
I don't know,
but the one person that went after them was Janet. No one will talk to her. No one will film with her. We all railed this chick for a year. She's probably maybe not going to be on the show. Like when she goes to apologize to Nia, she's like, well, damn, your husband's still doing shit. So like there is a campaign. They know what they're doing. They are not dumb people. They will protect at all costs. They are that type of people. Protect the crown at all costs. You come for me, you better not miss. They're those people. So it's that's when I'm saying it's them protecting themselves. That's what I'm saying is they've made a pact that nothing will get through it. And that means don't fight on camera. Okay, don't call me, don't tell me to shut up. Okay, fine. Don't say what you did in Santa Barbara or in San Diego. Fine. It's and if somebody else comes for us, oh dude, you're done. You're done. Stop or you're done. And that's what happened. It's what's happening. So I think that's what people are like, I'm not saying shit.
I had no idea that Danny and I never took them as two people that could invoke that kind of like fright from like a cast of people. Aside from Janet, who just doesn't know her ass from her head and doesn't know when to shut up. She just doesn't know when to shut up.
It's also got to be something like, how do you fight against that? Like, it's like Emmy when people said, hey, Will's cheating on you. And she was like, no. Like you can point out shit to Nia about Danny's being an asshole. He's on my team. Us together.
Right.
Like you never. Why?
Yeah.
The only thing you get out of that is to get yelled at.
No.
And beat down on.
I get it. I just for Brittany at some point too, and I think even here to say like, that they're not allowed to talk about this. It's like Brittany is the most veteran person on here now, aside from like Chris. Like,
well, she didn't say that she wasn't allowed. She just got fed up because she recalled, and this is later on in the episode when they're at lunch, but like she recalled last year when they were in Santa Barbara or wherever, when Danny was asleep and everybody was trying to like cover for him. Oh, he's tired or whatever. And it was her just being like, I'm here this whole year getting shit thrown at me. My husband's a psycho. He's in rehab. I got a kid that's dealing with shit. Like I'm going to show the world everything, getting lit up all over the place for it. And you guys are Miss Perfect and but you're not. You're not. And you're pretending like you are. And we're all like, that's what she was mad about. It's what everybody else is starting to get mad about because it's not real, you guys. And now we're starting to see that it's not real because when your husband gets drunk, he really shows his cards. So I think that's what Brittany was like, okay, you know what? And then they were giving her shit like, Brittany, and she's like, you know what? Fine, I'm out. I'm not going to say anything. They're perfect. That was her response was they're perfect. And that's what they want. They want you to just tell everyone they're perfect. It's
kind of like Lala's same argument at the end of Vanderpump. We're showing everything. You can just go sleep it off when you're fighting. Like you can like what? No, this is what it is. If you don't like it, get the out.
I understand what you're saying. I never once entertained that like those two people were garnering any kind of power that would make people go, we shouldn't say anything. We're not allowed. Like still kind of is hard.
I guess I'm not putting it as a power. I'm putting it as some of those people are their friends. Okay. And they probably asked them straight up. There's also, like I said, what do you get out of it? I'm going to look like shit on TV because now I have two people coming at me.
No,
and maybe Kristen joins their pack, and now Luke's going to tag along. So now 4 people hate me on this fucking show.
No, they definitely
so it's like, what
are sides here for sure.
It's not even like how powerful they are. It's like, what the do I get out of it?
Yeah,
America's going to see it.
Yeah,
what do I get for calling it out?
No. Listen, I can get on board with like so much of this. I think that the reason I couldn't really even factor that in was because I thought these people don't even know that America is going to hate Janet. Like this all gets shot, 8, 9, 10 months before we see it. So they didn't have audience feedback. Like on Love Island, you know immediately if these people like you or not because it's aired live. This is not a show that you don't have that privilege of knowing like what anyone thought of that scene, So yeah, we could just move it along.
Moving along.
So at this point, Danny and Nia go and sit outside and start to have a conversation, which was hard for me to really like parse through and analyze because it was basically like trying to parse through like a 6-year-old when you're questioning about like why is the family dog covered in whipped cream? Like there's like there was no
or more like questioning a 6-year-old about the political climate of some foreign country that is dealing with a coup currently. Like what, you know what I mean? Like,
no, totally.
I'm also like, I get it's a TV show, but in real life, there's no way you're having this conversation with somebody this drunk at this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a you, go to bed. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Yeah.
Not a chasing him around like a puppy to just exasperate a thing that is.
It's weird that Danny and Nia allowed the producers to have that scene with him outside at that moment.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, it's weird they even have. And here's my thing.
It was
I've been hammered. I've never been blacked out. I can always remember everything.
Lucky you.
Like, Danny's walking around pretty normal, right? He's not falling over. This whole let's keep it inside, let's not argue. Does he not see how he's act like?
There's a few of these.
It's childish.
No, it
so
is.
It's just kind of like, how drunk are you that you don't, because he can't be that drunk because he's walking straight. He's not falling over.
Yeah.
But he's so drunk that he doesn't know that, dude, you're acting a fool.
Yeah. Because he is he's having this conversation and then immediately going, I can't believe that you just said that to me, as if the camera guy still isn't standing there. But he says it in a tone where it almost seems like he thinks he's alone now. So it's like, the camera guy just kind of go off to the side a little bit, but like the angle's the same. Like
classic camera guy trick.
Yeah. Because they have that talk on the patio, which like was just hard to watch because she's just treating him like a toddler and he's answering like one, and then they go back inside, which I thought was wild because it seemed like they had exited almost like they were going to go back to their room. And so then they go back inside. He grabs another beer. Everyone's still in here. We basically walk in on a scene that looks like it's like an orgy with like a willing participant. Everyone's gangbanging Zach with his huge fake boobs.
Sacrifice type situation going on there in the kitchen.
Danny grabs a beer, smacks Zach's fake boobs in a way that you're like, what kind of porn do you watch?
Yeah, little too violent on the booby smack on that one, for sure.
Danny said he thinks Lala should have explained why she's triggered. First of all, like that's absurd.
Right.
That's triggering me because I had an ex that did that, and they really got really like you. And as if she would have said any of that, and he would be like, "My bad."
Yeah.
And listened. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and then there's so many times in that argument where he turned the argument and don't raise your voice.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, man. Like you don't have to say it multiple times, but like, let's go back to the main shit.
Yeah.
Don't raise your voice.
And telling Nia, who was literally talking to, like I said, a 6-year-old, trying to explain to him why you cannot put whipped cream all over the dog.
Right.
And he's like, stop yelling at me. And she's
the
like,
6-year-old says,
okay.
please don't raise your voice.
Yeah.
Not even
That was
stop
the most
yelling
adult
at me.
thing you said.
Yeah, it's just, please don't raise your voice.
I wanted to fight Danny by the end of that.
Yeah.
How often do you think she's having these like coddling conversations with him? Like, is
No wonder she's exhausted.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the 4 kids.
It's not the four.
one
It's
kid.
just after she's done with the 4 kids, she has to go deal with Danny.
Yeah, the one grown kid.
Yeah.
3 to 4 times a week at least.
Do we think that Danny drinks at home?
No, but do I think he's
Yeah.
the wife's got the kids? That kind of like I don't know.
Like the drinking brings out a thing in Danny.
Yeah.
Obviously that thing is in Danny.
Yeah.
And I don't know if drinking is the only thing.
Yeah.
I bet stress, I bet annoyance,
Yeah.
I bet things like, listen, I get annoyed. We've talked about it. I'm a
Doesn't.
workaholic.
He's totally calm all the time.
I like to work. And if I'm on a thing in my head and somebody's like, hey, what do you do? I'll be like, I freak out and I wish I didn't, but I do. So like, that's the thing for me.
Yeah.
I think there's moments like that that have nothing to do with alcohol. But if it happens, Danny gets a little like, what are you doing? Where's the swaddle? Are you having a sandwich?
Yeah.
You know, I think he gets in his, like, he has his little trigger moments.
Yeah.
Not to trigger you.
And he like gets to doing a bit, and it's just got to be a whole shit show.
Yeah. And if somebody doesn't like the bit, you know, if he's doing a bit that he's committed to and he's getting that feeling of like it's not hitting.
You're not getting the bit.
Yeah. I'm not doing it right. Hold on. Let me explain it.
Haven't you ever heard of yes and?
Yeah. No.
Nia helps Danny out of his ensemble. They have like yet another conversation that's mic'd on camera, only to then talk about how, I can't believe you just said that to me, mic'd on camera, while they're still mic'd and on camera.
While she's taking off the 6-year-old's shoes.
Right.
Like you can't take off, you don't know how to do Bucky's?
Yeah.
The Bucky.
Yeah. But they have that, and then they walk out, and he's just demanding, take off your mic, take off your mic. And she's like, I'm still mic'd. He goes, well, take it off. There's a camera guy following me right now. If you're
She's like,
still
"Stop
mic'd and
talking.
and you've got
Stop
a camera guy on
talking,
you still.
idiot."
And that is another reason that leads me to believe that like they didn't show all those things before, and they just thought like it seems like Danny has gotten very used to being treated as in a certain way from the edit bay crew, and that he is like, I do this all the time. He's talking about these mics and cameras as in a way that there is no regard for the mics and cameras. So he must have gotten some treatment that, and again, I get that there just wasn't room for it. I'm open to that.
But
being
no.
like, why? But
Two things can be true.
Yeah.
There wasn't room for it. And Danny thinks he's getting special treatment. Oh, they're not showing this. They didn't show this the past season and a half.
Exactly.
Why would they show it now?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
And now they're like, cool. Jax is gone, man.
Yeah.
We need an A story.
Yeah.
And you're it.
And you're being a dick still.
Yeah. There's a part of me that wonders if, because
hey, Peppy.
I know that
Welcome to work. About an hour and 15 minutes late, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm not trying to project onto the audience, but I know that I felt a certain type of way, and it just made me wonder if there are others out there who feel a little bamboozled by the narrative, like that we watch this guy. And I understand that you say like you've seen these beats throughout, but this is 10 times worse. Oh shit, I didn't see Foof. Sorry, Foof. This felt 10 levels up of showing us things that like they gave us in little drops and bits before. Like it was like the gloves were off. We're going to just basically out this guy and show every ridiculous, unattractive, embarrassing, humiliating like moment of the night that we can possibly string together, because we end up seeing Danny and Nia have like 3 separate talks that all go the exact same way. And it's like, if you didn't have room before, you sure as shit got it now.
Well, listen, it seems like this was Danny's night.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a lot of moments in between where Danny was being sweet and cutesy and having a, little, a moment with his wife. I think this was it. This was the night.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think this is a good time to just break for part 2, and we'll get into like the next morning and the aftermath, and then the big conversation with, the big basketball disabling.
Like, subscribe.
Yeah. Can you
bash that hype?
Bash that hype?
I don't know how you do hype. So if it's not a bash, then do whatever you're supposed to do. But do that. Hype it up. Use all your hype points. You also, thanks to the people who are spending all their hype points on us.
I know.
People are like, oh man, I ran out of hype points on you guys. That's pretty cool.
And to that I say, create more accounts.
Smart. There's a smart one over here.
No, my mom just chimed in. She just figured out how to hype, and then I think she blew all the hypes on one video and was like, it says I don't have any more hypes.
What are y'all talking about?
You don't hype us?
Oh, this is such a good learning moment. For anyone who doesn't know what the hype button is.
Travis is about to tell you.
Oh, he doesn't know, so he's not about to tell us.
Oh, you thought I was being like a good, tell the audience what it is. No, I'm asking you genuinely what the
we thought you were being a company man.
No, Travis is not that. A hype is a thing where you get like
on
5
what?
of them.
Okay, but how do you get there?
On YouTube?
Oh, I don't know that part.
Oh, God. Okay,
you're talking about on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Oh, so there's a hype button on YouTube.
There's a hype button on YouTube.
Cool. Hype us up.
Right.
We don't need the explanation of what you're about to go into.
You do, because my mom did.
It's hard to find.
You can't do it on a desktop. You can't do it on your laptop. You can do it on iPads and iPhones. I'm sure that
iPhone 8s?
Who knows? Because my mom, it was not on her iPhone at first. So if some of you were thinking, am I taking crazy pills? I don't find this on my iPhone. It wasn't on hers either.
On the YouTube app or YouTube in the browser?
YouTube app. I don't know about
like
the browser.
Young kid.
No, there's a difference.
I bet you the browser is probably not, because the browser would probably emulate the desktop version.
Yep.
So,
you know what's going to be real funny
What?
is when the audience tells us YouTubers how to hype shit.
I am not above that. I am Gen X, and I need a lot of tutorials on the new tech.
I could
You're
Google
almost KRS 101 oldies ready for.
But the oldies now are just old Dr. Dre and Snoop.
I watch YouTube on the browser daily.
That is not true. That is blasphemous. The oldies don't change with the times. Oldies are doo-wop.
I hope that you're the decision maker on that. I don't know if you are, though.
I should be.
I watch YouTube on my browser a lot. There's no hype button. I would have seen it.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you
So
also
it's gotta be
scroll
on the
to
app.
a certain part of the thing.
So
and go
if you
to
guys
light.
would both shut up, I could explain it very easily.
Seems rude.
I wanted to tell you that it's going to be on your iPad or your iPhone. If it's not, you're not crazy. But I've only ran into one instance of this, but it was on my mom's phone. She has T-Mobile. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But it's the comment bar. You got to slide it to the left.
Yeah.
Swipe it to the left, and then you'll see hype. You only get 3 a week, so choose wisely and choose Notify. Okay. Part 2 will be up as soon as humanly possible.
Natalie's superhuman though, so probably 10 minutes. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Head over to part 2.
Yeah, we just said that.
I can't remember what I said.
2 seconds.